Hey there YouTube, this is the Wrecker84 here. It's been a little while since I've done a video. I think that my last one was in December, I think, so a little over 7 months. I don't really have an excuse for that, I just haven't really felt like doing any videos. I kind of lost interest in a lot of the YouTube stuff, but it is now just, well, it's kind of the middle of convention season right now. We've just had San Diego Comic-Con, and now we've got TFNation is I think 20 something days away. I think it's basically just over 3 weeks away. So in this video I'm gonna be answering the questions that Dave and Emily asked last Sunday, which were I think it was 3 or 4 questions. And I also may do a video on the other questions that were asked the previous Sunday, which were the same ones that were basically everyone was doing last year, which I also did. I may still do those ones, but this video is just going to be the ones that were asked a few days ago, so I'm just going to be doing those ones. I've got them all written down on a little notepad here, just because I probably watched the video like 10 minutes ago just to make sure I remember the questions. So I noted them all down just in case. So the first question was my favourite person that I've met at a convention. Now, there are 2 people that came to mind when that question was asked for me. If we're counting MCM Comic-Con as part of these questions, then I met a voice actor called Nolan North at MCM Comic-Con. He voices Nathan Drake in the Uncharted game series for the PlayStation, and honestly he's probably one of my favourite voice actors in terms of video games. And I've wanted to meet him for ages, because the Uncharted games have been my favourite games for a long time, since they basically came out, which I think was 2008, I think. So I've always loved those games, and it was a pleasure to meet him. You know, he was a really kind guy. He was really he was just really understanding of everything. You know, he understood if people were nervous. I was very nervous about meeting him. You know, so he was very understanding of that, and I got a signed poster from him. So that was cool. So that was for Comic-Con, but in terms of actual a Transformers convention of people I met, I'd probably say favourite person I've met was probably Ben's Collectibles, or people know him as Ben. I met him, I think, at one of the AAs. I can't remember if it was 2014 or 2015. I know he didn't go to one of those ones, but I met him at the other one, but I can't remember which one was which. But I met him, and the reason why he was probably my favourite person to meet, whichever year it was, like I said, I can't remember, but the reason why he was my favourite person to meet was simply because he was the first person who kind of introduced me to the whole convention thing. I think it was the AA 2013. I saw his haul video for that, I think, or it might have been 2012, I can't remember. But I think I messaged him on Facebook about it. I was talking to him for a little bit about it. And he kind of introduced me to the whole thing. He was telling me that I should definitely come to one. So before that, I'd never heard of any of the conventions. I'd heard of San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con and that kind of thing, but I'd never heard of Auto Assembly. So he kind of introduced me to all that. So I kind of have him to thank for all these conventions that I'm now going to. So he was my favourite person, you know, and he was a really cool guy as well. It was really good to talk to him. So yeah, that's favourite for those 2 conventions. Second question is my favourite purchase, or I think they worded it as favourite pickup, but favourite purchase, pickup, whatever. Now, over the years, I've been to now 4 Transformers conventions, and this year's TFNation will be my 5th. So I've had pretty big hauls for all 4 of these years. So it was quite hard to actually pick a favourite, but I ended up going with something that I actually only bought at last year's TFNation, and that was the Transformers Dark of the Moon Takara Nemesis Jetwing Prime. Now, the reason he was my favourite pickup was because he was completely unexpected. Like, I was stood at the Power Toys table. I think I was talking to, I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking to someone, and I was like, Jack, I saw Jack coming over to me, and he called me over, like, to come to a different table. So I left the conversation. I went over to find out what he was on about, because I didn't know what the hell he was on about. Then he pointed at a figure on one of the stores. I think it was Max and Me Love Toys, and I just saw that there, and it was just completely unexpected. Like, I'd never seen one of those in person at any other convention, whether that be TFNation or Auto Assembly. I'd never seen that before, and I'd hardly ever seen it on the internet either. And when I did, it was extortionate prices. But that was my favourite purchase because, like I said, it was just completely unexpected. I didn't go there to find that at all. Like, I didn't expect to see it. It's one of those, like, things where you don't really expect to see a figure because of its rarity or because of, like, how much it costs. You don't think it'll be there, and even if it would be there, it'd be way too expensive. But it was in a relatively decent price, I thought, for what it was. So I decided to pick it up, and it was probably one of my favourite pickups from last year as well, so like that counts for something as well. So question 3 is biggest convention mistake. Now, when I first saw that question, I was like thinking for a little bit about things that may have happened over the different conventions, and I couldn't remember much, like anything going wrong particularly. But I will say one, not really a mistake, but something that I wish I'd done. I suppose it's like a regret, I suppose. I kind of wish I'd gone for weekend tickets on my second auto assembly. So our first auto assembly, we did the single day because we didn't really know what to expect from it. You know, we didn't really want to book weekend tickets because it was a completely unknown territory for us. So we didn't know what to expect for the convention. We didn't know if it'd be any good. Then obviously after the first convention, we absolutely loved it. You know, it was an amazing experience. Something I'll never forget. You know, something I'll always keep with me. My first convention, it was amazing. And then when the second year came around, we both decided that we really wanted to go again. But we then again just decided to go for the single day. And I kind of wish that we had gone for the full weekend, because we'd already been for a single day, so we knew what it was like. So we kind of, I don't really remember the reason why we just went for a single day, but I kind of wish we did go for a full weekend, just because it would have been an amazing experience. And also because it was the last auto assembly, you know, it was probably quite an emotional time for some of the people who had been going to auto assembly for however many years it's gone on for. I think it's gone on. Before then, I think it had gone on for like over 10 years, I want to say. So it had been going on for a long time before it stopped. But I don't know. I do wish we had gone for the weekend, because we went for the weekend ticket for the first TFNation, and it was amazing. You know, it was an amazing convention. It was an amazing weekend, and both me and Jack really enjoyed ourselves. But I kind of wish we'd done that for the last auto assembly, because like I felt like that would have been a really good experience as well. But you know, it's just a little regret. Like, it didn't affect the convention too much because we still had an amazing day on the last day, so it was still good. It was still worth going. You know, it was fine. And the fourth question, which is the last question, but there is two parts to it, kind of. It's 2 favourite stories, or I guess moments, I suppose, for the conventions that we've been to. Now, when that was asked, one moment came to mind straight away, and then I had to think about the second one for probably, well, quite a while, actually, probably an hour or so. I was just thinking about like what moments were that memorable from the convention, and like two definitely spring to mind now. Like, so one happened at last year's TFNation, and the other one I believe was at our second AA. So I'll talk about the one at the second AA first, because that was like, it's like chronological order. So we were on the train. It was me, Jack, and Ben, who stopped going to conventions because I think he just didn't enjoy it anymore. So we were all on the train from Cov to Birmingham, and I don't think we could get a seat, so we were just stood near the door, like waiting to go off pretty much, and the train was coming to a halt, so obviously we were like stood right by the door so that we could get straight off pretty much. And then like in the so on the door there's like a really small circle window, like probably as big as like an average person's head. Like, well, it's not a very big window, but like you can just about see through it. And it was a funny thing, like maybe 5 minutes before that, we were all wondering if we'd see anyone at the train station, like anyone we recognised or anyone going to the convention. Because I think there were a few people on the train with us who were going to AA. I can't remember if we talked to them that much, but I remember there were a few people going that were on the train. So there would definitely be people coming from that direction. So we thought maybe there might be some people at the train station who were going to the convention, because there probably would be. So then when the train finally came to a stop, there was a gentleman stood like opposite the door that we were coming out of. It was Nosy, and that was like straight opposite us, so we saw him straight out of the window. I remember turning to Jack like, holy shit, that's Nosy. You know, like completely unexpected. You know, the door opened. We went over to him. We had a little conversation with him. I think he was waiting for someone. I'm not sure who, but I think he was waiting for someone he was hanging out with at the convention. Could have been Sammy. I'm not sure. So yeah, it was nice to see Nosy just waiting at the train station. You know, it was just a completely random event. Like, we didn't expect to see him there at all. We didn't expect to see anyone really. But yeah, it was nice. It was a cool little moment, and that's something that, like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'd always remember it, but it was something. It was a quite nice little moment that we had for our second AA. So then moving on to the other story, kind of the other moment. Now this one, I'd imagine quite a few people will recognise, people who went to the convention, because I think after it happened, I think we probably mentioned it to nearly everyone we spoke to, which shows how bad the story is, really. So Friday night, me and Jack probably drank a little bit more than we should have. So we just when we got back to our hotel room, we set our alarms. I think I set my phone alarm for like 6:30 or something. I think Jack set his alarm for like 7, and I think we got a like the hotel room alarm call thing. Not sure what it's called, but that alarm call thing. I think we got that for 7 as well. So like they'd be like hit that alarm and Jack's alarm, kind of like a backup, just in case mine failed, which probably would have anyway. But so we set the alarms, and then we both passed out pretty much straight away. And then in the morning, I was still kind of asleep. I was kind of hazy, kind of sort of waking up a little bit, and I heard Jack just shouting at me. He was shouting my name. I was wondering what the hell was going on. Like, I was still like really like dazy. I couldn't really see much, because like my eyes were blurred and everything. So I was wondering what the hell was going on. You know, I was saying, "What's going on, man?" Like, and he was shouting me, saying it was 9 o'clock. And as soon as he said it was 9 o'clock, I sat straight up. I was like, "What the hell?" Like, I was like fully awake after that. I was completely surprised. It was 9 o'clock. Like, we managed to sleep through both of our alarms. Like, I don't know how long Jack had been awake, like, at that point. I can't remember how long he said he'd been awake, or if he even told me, to be honest, but I'd imagine he'd probably been awake for a couple of minutes before he checked the time, like, but he just woke me up, and we were just rushing, like, it was 9 o'clock, which is, I think was, like, when the dealer room actually opened, so we woke up pretty much as everything was getting started, which is kind of ridiculous, and, like, we rushed, we both had, like, a really quick shower, and then we just both got dressed really quickly, got down to the breakfast hall, had some breakfast, basically really quick breakfast, and we were in the dealer room by like 10:15 or something. But the fact that we'd missed like over an hour of the convention because we'd slept in, it was really strange. But like in all fairness, like it didn't really affect our convention experience at all. Like, I mean, it was nice to get the little lion, but you know, like, it didn't really like change what we did or what we bought or anything, because like everything we'd planned on buying, like Jack planned on buying the Fans Toys Phoenix, the Jetfire Skyfire masterpiece. So he planned on buying that, which there were loads of them left at Power Toys anyway, so he just managed to buy one. And I'd planned on buying a Make Toys. Is it Make Toys? Yeah, Make Toys Thunder Erebus, which Dorian had kindly purchased me one while I was still in bed. So that was nice. So that was very generous of him to do that. But yeah, so like that was it was quite an interesting experience, I will admit. But like I said, it didn't really change much for our convention. You know, it just meant that we had a bit of extra sleep on the Saturday, which was, you know, it was quite handy. I was quite grateful to have that little bit of extra sleep, even though we didn't plan for it. So yeah, that's those are the questions that were asked by Dave and Emily on Sunday. Like I said, I probably will do another video like similar to the one that I did last year, because those questions were also asked. Dave and Emily also did those questions previous Sunday, I think. So I may still do those, probably in a couple of days maybe. I don't want to be like making too many videos, because last year I think I went a bit mental in terms of TFNation videos. I think I made about 5 or 6 TFNation videos, like, and that was even before the Hopes and Fears or whatever, which was insane. I think I just went a bit mental. So I won't be doing that many videos, but I think I might do like a little bit of like a vlog type thing this year's TFNation, like I did at the first TFN. Might do a little bit, I'm not sure yet, but like I said, you know, it's not long now until TFNation. Like I said, it'll be, I think it's like from today it's like 23 days, I want to say, because it's like just over 3 weeks. So it's not long now. You know, it's actually getting pretty exciting. You know, I'm kind of like on the down low a little bit about it, but when it gets to like the week before, I'll be going insane, jumping off the walls. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. If you like this video, then you know, just leave me some feedback in the comments. You know, if you want the video about the other questions, then just put it in the comments, or if you want to just give me some feedback about the actual video, because I'm trying to get back into the swing of videos, but I can't see it happening too often. You know, I won't really stick to a schedule or anything, but I will be trying to put out a few more videos once or a while, you know. So thank you guys for watching, and take care.